me start posting. We are live. Turn on the music.
It's always the same. I have that when I use the stream. Like, okay, set up the music, make sure everything's framed right, and then make sure you grab a link, go onto Discord, go onto Telegram, post it to your Twitter. It's always the same.
I schedule. I wish there was a way to schedule on Discord, to be honest.
Aren't there any apps for that?
I don't want to use external apps. I'm trying to get rid of that. Stop using external apps due to security and whatever.
Yeah, sure. I'm not. I don't use Discord a lot anymore. I'm mostly on Telegram, but I know that there used to be like custom clients that had a lot of stuff built in. But
yeah. I don't want.
It's always a security risk.
Exactly.
So how long have you been streaming?
For nearly 2 years now. Yo, Blockchain Mad and Busking, how are you? First early birds of the day.
Hello.
Yeah, for nearly 2 years now. Nice. This is stream number, let me check, 141. Actually, it's not stream 141. It's the talk 141. Yeah.
You've done a lot more.
Yeah. A lot more.
So do you archive them?
Yes, I archive them on YouTube. When I started, I didn't do that, so I lost a few. I think I lost around 5 or 6. Yeah, I think that's around the number. But yeah, now I just started counting the ones that are on YouTube, and now we're on 141.
Nice. It's nice to have a bit of a backlog.
Yeah. Actually,
do you do any?
Yeah. So
do you do any editing, like?
No.
Stuff like
I wish I did. That's how you grow. But it takes too much time. Unfortunately. And I can't pay anyone to do that, so.
Yeah, I remember, like, I used to do Advent of Code streaming. I did that on Twitch for a few years, and then I moved to YouTube. But when I did that on Twitch, what I would do is record locally. And then after I've done the live stream in the morning, I would go in and edit it. And it just, like, for every 10 minutes, it takes between 3 and 6 hours of editing.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of work. It produces really cool videos, but it's just near the end, when videos would take longer, I would just from morning till evening be editing and then do it again in the morning. So there's no room to do anything else.
When you get good at it, I heard that you can spend like 3 minutes for every minute that you edit. But to get there, it's too much work. Like.
Yeah, it depends what you want to do. Like, what I did was technical code streaming. So what I would do is go back, watch it again, and that at the moment in time add annotations, explain like stuff of the reasoning that I wasn't sounding out, and like stuff like that. That just takes so much time.
Yeah.
Even if I were more efficient, probably not in the ratio that I had, but yeah.
It's really hard. Ever since I started streaming, my respect for YouTubers and streamers in general, it increased.
I can imagine. It's fun, man. Creating content is so much fun, but it just there's only so much time in the day, and
exactly. And especially when you don't do it full time, and it's impossible.
I actually started to do some stuff on YouTube to see if I could get like hit those monetization numbers, like 1,000 subscribers and 4K hours. It's like, man, that's really hard to hit in a year, at least for me. I think if I would do Advent of Code type stuff all year round, I would hit it in a year, but I don't have time to do something like that. So I think it will always be a bit of a hobby.
Exactly. It's complicated. And it doesn't earn you much money, so it's even harder. Today we are having Nick Kusters with us. He's an ex Wax OIG candidate. We are live!
Hello, everybody.
Today we are having Nick Kusters here with us. He is an ex Wax OIG candidate. We're gonna be talking about lots of stuff here. He is a very interesting fellow. So yeah, we're done with the two first races of the day. This means it's interview time with Nick.
Okay.
Nick, how are you?
I love how you introduced me as a former OIG candidate. I think that's the first time I've been addressed as that.
We have to value. It's like becoming a presidential candidate. It's important. The OIG is very important, so we have to value you more.
Yeah, it was an exciting period last election. I'm curious to see how the new one will play out. So, did you cover the last elections?
Not really. Not really. Last election, I was rooting for Mike. I'm sorry, Nick.
Hey, no worries, no worries. Mike is a great dude.
Yeah.
I didn't know a lot about Mike. I saw some like in the periphery. I never really interacted with him before that, and during the whole thing, I've come to know him a little bit, and yeah, he's a really nice dude.
Really,
and I'm happy that I got to know him a bit more. So yeah,
awesome. But yeah, Nick, it's interview time. You have 4 minutes to see how well you can handle the pressure. Are you ready?
Sure.
Let's go. 3, 2, 1. Go. Nick, first question is always easy. Where are you from?
I'm from the Netherlands, the south of the Netherlands, Maastricht. So very close to Germany and Belgium as well.
And when did you start your crypto journey?
Oh, that's a long story. We only have 4 minutes.
just go X amount of years. Let's see.
Well, I started when Bitcoin was like $1, and then I quit for a long time, and I started again a bit over 2 years ago.
No man, why did you quit? You could be a millionaire right now.
I was mining Bitcoin, and it just took like a week to mine half a Bitcoin, so on my Dell CPU. So
wow.
So it wasn't going fast enough, and back then I was really inspired by seeing what people did, like across the country with just using Bitcoin, trading it for gas, like 80 to 100 Bitcoin, swapping it with a dude at a gas station because it was a fun experiment. And I saw it as that, like a fun experiment, but it was very far away from actual being useful in day to day. And well, if you look at it now, the society could sustain it, but yeah, there's lots of stuff working against that.
Yeah, man. But feels bad. What did you do with your half a Bitcoin that you mined?
I had actually probably a few Bitcoin, but I never saved that wallet.
Oh man, it feels bad.
Yeah, well, there's so many things that you could have done to be a millionaire now.
Yeah.
It's hard to regret.
Oh, wait, I think we lost Nick. Nick.
I can.
Okay,
hey.
You're back. Okay.
Are we still here? Okay.
Yeah, you're back.
As hindsight is always 20/20, so I don't feel too bad about that. I actually had a PC that I was working a job, and it was a Dell computer that would sometimes blue screen when it would throttle down the CPU, because it has like, it's one of the first that did that throttling thing. And I noticed that when I would just pack the CPU at 100%, it would not crash randomly during the workday. So what I would do is just run a Bitcoin CPU miner on one thread on that PC all day, so that it would not bother me during work. Wow. So I did that for a while, and it was actually just a workaround to prevent the Dell PC from crashing. And I was mining on Slushpool. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah.
Do you know the mining pools for Bitcoin? Yeah. So way back when, they already had Slushpool, and I had the payout threshold set to 0.2 Bitcoin, I think. And I still had like 0.18 or something there, and I extracted that 2 years ago. So it was still there after all that time. So it was a small payhold threshold thing, and it was now worth a few $1,000. So that was a nice little surprise, but it wasn't a lot, you know. So it was a fun surprise, but yeah. Okay. I'm no Bitcoin millionaire.
But yeah, that's life. That's life. Hindsight. That's
Yeah.
life. That's part of life. And Nick,
Yes.
I believe that every good talk starts with poop. That's how you establish trust. Can I
Poop?
trust you? Yes. Can I trust you, Nick?
Sure. I think I'm a pretty trustworthy guy, but feel free to test me.
Okay. Nick,
Yes.
you have the decision to every day for a week to stomp on a Lego, or not 1 week, for a month to stomp on a Lego, or put your feet on a poop. What is
Easy.
your choice?
I'll step and poop. I don't care.
Exactly. What if it's you're barefoot?
Yeah, I don't care.
What
It's
if
like it washes off, and
what if it's street poop?
it's what?
Street poop.
Yeah. As long as there are no sharp things that puncture the skin, I wouldn't care. I just step in it, wash it off, and be good.
Okay.
I'm not a germaphobe or something. So yeah, I think that would be an easy choice. Hurt yourself daily for a month, or be poop washes off, you know?
Okay. So what would be your threshold? Like if you could how many days would make you choose the Lego over the poop?
I don't know. Probably not a lot. I really don't get, like, I don't fear something like that. I used to have animals and stuff and have to clean up chicken shit and dog poo daily. So yeah, I don't mind it that much. It's like,
Awesome. Like a true father. You don't fear the
yeah,
poop.
yeah. I've changed enough diapers in my lifetime. Yeah.
Nice. But yeah, Nick,
Sure.
we're going for the time is up. We're gonna keep going with the Grubfish Royale, and then we're gonna come back for the interview where we're gonna be talking about the OIG and all of those nerd stuff.
Yeah, sure. Good luck,
So, yeah,
everybody.
good luck, and thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, no worries.
So
You
yeah,
asked, and
thank you. You're so nice. You're so kind. So yeah, we're going for the third race of the day. Wait, what is happening to the browser? Is the browser dying? I think the browser is dying. Where is the? Oh my god! I think I'm gonna have to. I think I'm going to have to restart the browser. Oh. Yeah, it died.
yeah,
I'm going to have to
too many
restart the browser.
too many poo questions.
Software
Shit
update
happens.
needed. Wait, what? Missing features. What is happening here? What is happening with? Okay, it seems like it's quitting on me. It seems like Marbles. We're gonna have to go to Marbles.
You need to use a different browser. I think it won't load WebGL, so maybe
Yeah.
too much of your video card is in use or something.
Like,
Somebody already said Nick just hacked you. That would be too obvious. I wouldn't do that on stream.
yeah. Wait a second. Oh man, I'll have to load again. Wait a second. Let me change here the configuration. Okay. So yeah, let's go for
energy.
Thank you. So yeah, we're going for the fourth of the day. Top 3 wins prizes. Today we are having Nick Kusters here with us. He's a former Wax OIG candidate.
By the way, those lucky demons look really cute. You should have something that shows the NFTs that people can win on screen.
Let me think about it. I could probably do that. The issue is not safe for work NFTs. I could probably program something like that shows what they're winning when I post on. That's a good idea. I'll see.
If
what
it's
I can.
not safe for work, just add like a 4-pixel blur, you know.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll think about it.
Yeah, because I saw that. I was curious. I was picking up some of the asset IDs, plugging them into Atomic Hub. And yeah, I think my kids would like the lucky demons. They look really cute.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I'll think about it. I think I can do it. I think I can do it. That's a good suggestion. That's a good suggestion.
You're welcome.
I'll try to take some time and do that. So yeah, Nick, this is the time where we're gonna be having a more technical talk. You'll have I'll give you 10 minutes. Sure. You'll start by telling the people what is the OIG, and then we'll move on that. Okay, we'll
yeah, sure.
Okay, let's go. 3, 2, 1, go.
Sure. The OIG is a Wax watchdog agency. If you're familiar with Wax, it's a really great blockchain. All these NFTs that you can win are basically hosted there. The technical infrastructure is run by a lot of guilds or block producers. They prefer the term guilds, but in my opinion, they're synonymous, but they do way more than just producing blocks. In Wax, there is a top 21 that runs the active net, that produces blocks in like a rotating schedule. And then there's other guilds that want to become the top 21 that are standby guilds. And there's a lot of rules and thresholds that you have to adhere to. Like Wax is a very, I don't know if you've seen the charts on Twitter or something, like the amount of transactions that occur on Wax is bigger than anything else out there, including all the big chains. And to do all that, we need pretty good infrastructure. And Wax, from a technical perspective, is one of the coolest blockchains that exist, in my opinion. And we get to play with so much fun stuff for basically free. Like you can stake resources and do transactions all you want, and those resources can be reclaimed. And to do all of that in a high volume and in an efficiently fast way, you need great hardware and scalable and resilient hardware. So that's what block producers do, and it's part of what they do. They make sure that we can have a new block on Wax, like that's the finalized actions every half second. And there's a lot of performance metrics that go into becoming a top producing guild. So there's all kinds of restrictions about how it has to perform, what kind of services you have to supply. And basically for everything that you do, there is a rating system. And that's what the OIG does mostly. It checks okay, you're a block producer. Do you adhere to make blocks in time? Do not produce duplicate blocks. Make sure that you're there every round that you have to produce. But also supply an Atomic API, and they will give points for that, or history solutions. And the top 21 are the producers with the most points. And they check every periodically, like, does everybody do their job properly? So the technical part is, does the chain function correctly? Does everybody do what they're told and produce and make a stable system? On the other part, there is an incentive to grow Wax, to reach out to big companies like, hey, do you want to start an NFT collection on Wax? Stuff like that, to onboard projects, to assist with things like that. Or maybe even create their own products. And all that stuff that is basically a bit self-regulating. They came up with a system, the OIG, to give points, and it's constantly evolving. So if somebody has a great idea in how things can change, they can influence them, and then stuff changes, like a maximum threshold for how long stuff takes that keeps shrinking and going down.
And Nick,
yes,
how does one become an OIG?
OIG is the OIG is basically 3 people that run it, and there are 18-month terms. So if you're an elected OIG, you do the job for 18 months, and then you're up for re-election, and that is staggered every 6 months. So every 6 months, there's a new election period. There is a website, but I think it's still not updated. There should be a new website soon, but they are still working on that, where you can nominate people. And then there's a period where you can nominate people, say like, hi, I want to be an OIG, or you can say, hi, I think that that you are a great person, and nominate other people to do the job. And then there's a person where you can vote for them. So if we go back 6 months, that was the previous election. There were a few people that ran. I see in the chat the nomination site is updated, so you can nominate people to it. Yes.
Oh,
yeah,
so
but
can
there's
you post
also
in the chat the website? It will probably block, but I'll repost it.
Yeah, it's oig.wax.io. I know it by heart.
oig.wax.io.
Yes. So it's an old it's the old site still. They were working on a new one. But yeah, basically there you can see, if you open it up, it has a bit in the about, it has a quick blurb about what it is, and under candidates you can see people that are nominated, and you can also see the timing. So there's a month now to nominate people, and after that there's 2 weeks to vote. The voting basically works for all the wax that you've staked to yourself. There are talks about having delegated tokens as well, but for now I think it's just the wax that you stake to yourself. You can use that to vote. So, for instance, I have a secondary wallet. That's my little wax treasury with 300k tokens. If I vote, then I get 300,000 votes with that. And so everybody that has wax staked, they can use that to vote. And in the end, the most wax pledged to that person is the one that will win.
And Nick,
yes,
can you explain us regarding the rules of the OIG? Like, one thing that I was always curious about is regarding number of terms. Is there anything like that? Like the OIG can only serve X amount of terms,
no,
or is it unlimited?
It's not there yet. So, like last time when I ran, Rakeden of Yanis, however you want to call him, he was up for re-election, so his job was on the line, and he ran again and was re-elected. So right now you have Kaefer, who's up for re-election, and I think this will be his. I think it will be his 3rd term, but I'm not sure. So there is currently no limit to the amount of terms that an OIG can serve. They are working on a vote of no confidence thing that can remove somebody from office if there is a valid reason to. So that's something that they want to add. But yeah, right now it's basically this vote, and there's a lot of criticism around how voting is done, because in the end the people with the biggest wallets determine, right?
I don't see any other way, to be honest.
That's also the point. There is, in my opinion as well, it's not a perfect system, but it's the best that we have out of, and if somebody has a better idea, you can always bring it up. But out of everything that's explored, there hasn't been a better solution yet. Something that I really appreciate was last time. There's like a subsection of people that interact on Wax that know me, because I've been creating tools for like Alien Worlds, Our Planet, and loads of other things. So from that perspective, a lot of people knew me. And in the beginning, I thought, well, okay, people know who I am. I'm a good guy. Basically, I have the best of intentions, and I want to improve the OIG office. And I think that I'd be great for it. So I was like, okay, I'll run, and that will be enough. But that's not the case, because a lot of people still need to be convinced or talked to. So people with big wallets are the guilds themselves. Yes. So in talking with Ben, a former OIG, the creator of NFT Hive, he was like, have you reached out to people? I was like, no, but most people know me. And he said, well, try it, because I think it will still make a big difference. So I was like, okay, I think it's good advice. I think everybody knows who I am and what I stand for, but it doesn't hurt to say hello, tell people I'm running, and ask for their support, right?
Yes.
So I did that, and I went to all the blog producers, the active and standby guilds, and I quickly just said, hey, just to let you know, I'm Nick Kusters, I'm running for OIG. This is the sum of the stuff that I do, and this is why I think I'd be great at it, and I would like to get your support. Thank you for your time, even if I message you out of the blue, even if this might be the first message I've sent to you since last talking to you 2 years ago, but I just wanted to say a quick hello and reach out and ask for your support. I was like, okay, and through that I got into a lot of talks, and And one of the things that I really admired was Pink, like the guys behind Atomic Hub. They said, good luck, but we won't vote for you. But we also won't vote for anybody else. But we have like 60 million wax, and any vote that we cast would skew the election by too much. Yes. Right? So and that made me think like, okay, I really appreciate that, because they would have a way too big impact on it. And that also made me think, well, is there a way to cap it? But I don't also think there's a good way to limit those things. So I really think it's something that should self-regulate.
I think that block producers shouldn't vote at all. I think they all should go the PinkTG route, either by regulation or principle.
Yes and no.
Yeah, because I don't see the point. I don't see the point. It's too much. You're basically making sure that the block producers do a great job, right?
Yes, so you're picking your own boss.
Exactly, exactly. Yes. So they shouldn't be able to vote, in my opinion, just because of that. Because if PinkTG decides to vote for someone, they will want something in return. That's how it works.
Oh yeah, but I made really clear that whichever way they would vote, because that's not who I am, I would hold it against you, but I also won't do you any favors. I'm just here to do the best I can and make things better.
I agree with you, but on the principle, if they can vote for whoever they want to, they will vote for the people who will keep them in office. That's how it works. It's basic business principle.
But I also think like yes and no, and maybe not so directly. Look, if I were a blog producer, they have 18 months experience with these people, right? With the current OIGs.
Yes.
So it could also be like, I know how this person works, right? And if I introduce somebody new, that might be a wild card. So it could also be like that they like the status quo, so not that they are getting beneficial treatment or anything, but they just don't want to see much change in how it works. So it doesn't have to be nefarious, but yeah.
But
I don't know. But in the end, they also have a big stake in like everybody in this chain that votes and wants the best for Wax. They also want Wax to do well, because their livelihood depends on it. So yeah, it's a really there's no clear answer for me. I can see part of the objections, and I also see a reason why they should have a vote. So I thought, like, was there a way to like unweight vote for BPs and have that like a part of the total result? So like split it in half and have like a community versus BP vote where they have half the weight or something. But yeah, in the end, they can always just shift tokens over to another wallet that's not directly linked to the OIG, wash it through an exchange. So if they want, they can. So even if you set a rule that a BP cannot use it, then they'll just, if they want to, there's always a way. So
yeah, but I think that those cases are kind of easy to notice. You cannot move 2 million wax and cast a vote and no one notices where it comes from. It's very hard. It's very hard. The higher the amount, the harder it gets.
Sure.
But yeah, I agree with you to an extent. But yeah, Nick, the time is up for a while. We're gonna go back to the grubfish.
I haven't even gotten started yet. I told you before, people always have to shut me up. I can keep talking for hours.
No worries, Nick. No worries, Nick. We still have 1 hour and a half that we can be here. So
it's a quick suggestion. You should probably try and get Kaefer on in the next month or so, because he's up for re-election.
Yes. I'll try to get Kaefer and Prime Rogue. I'll try to get them. Okay. They already Kaefer already said yes. I don't know if Prime Rogue will accept. I think he will. But the idea is to have just a conversation on the point of view from someone who is in the office and someone who wants to become an OIG.
Yes. And I think that Kaefer would be good to interview because he had been on Wax for a long time and he knows all the ins and outs, and he can answer a lot of these questions probably better than I do, just because he has seen it all and works it. He lives it, right?
Agreed.
So
agreed. But
I'll
yeah,
shut up for a bit now.
no worries, no worries, no worries. You're fine. So yeah, let's go back to Nick. We're back, Nick.
Hey.
So yeah, Nick. By the way, if you want to ask any questions in the chat, just type !Q, your question, and it will be automatically saved. Let me load up the questions. Yeah. So yeah, let's go. You have 5 minutes, Nick. Are you ready?
Sure.
Let's go. 3, 2, 1, go. Nick, why do you think it's important for the community to start voting in the OIG?
Well, it depends. Like the future depends on it, right? Everybody that interacts on Wax wants it to be good, and I see a lot of people wanting some of the OIG to change. At least that's something that I've heard voiced a lot. I don't know how that will happen. I think there some of the biggest complaints that I see is a disconnect between the OIG and communities, and I think there's some that can change there. Like, and I think it's mostly communication. So like they have currently they have a governance channel on Telegram. It's pretty dry right now, but whenever there is something to talk about, it happens there. So that's a good place to be if you're interested in Wax governance. But I think also that like through they have like a medium site that's not updated that people complain about. So when you go to oig.wax.io and you click around, it's like stuff is outdated or behind. And I think that in doing that and communicating more, that would improve things a lot. They added something to let guilds write up more human readable reports. Like, so basically what guilds have to do every month or every 45 days, I think, is to write up a bit of what they did, what they achieved, what they're working on, etc. And oftentimes there's interesting stuff there, like projects that they helped or things that they're working on, etc. And I think if more of that work is shown and available to the public, that would bridge the gap that people feel right now. And I think that maybe somebody else stepping in and working on that could help there. I must say that the current way that the technical side of the blockchain runs, I think it's already in a really good place. Like technically and how it functions, like little to no downtime. There have been some issues, but the whole community comes together to solve that. Everybody's held to a very high standard. So looking at a purely technical perspective, I think the OIG works really well right now. But I think there's a big disconnect that people feel between that stuff. So like the normal Wax user and the governance stuff. And I think there's a big bridge that could be made there. And somebody that puts more effort into that, I think voting somebody like that in could help that. But in the end, a lot of the job that the OIG does is quote unquote boring and technical and lots of reviewing. So there is not that much room for it. But I think it would be good if somebody like a Mike or me or somebody that a lot of people know and have more visibility and interacts more with people to maybe bridge that gap a bit. So I can see that need or that desire, and in the end, like same with your government in your country. If you want to see change, you have to vote. So yeah,
true.
And if people don't come together, nothing will change.
And Nick, if you could only change one thing, either in the way the election is run, either in how the OIG evaluates, like anything related to the OIG, what would you change? Only one thing.
Well, the thing is, I don't think I would. There are things inside of the Wax blockchain that I would much rather change, and that's some of the pain points. I think is the labs part and the outreach. Like, what I would really like to see is have the labs, and I'm not sure if you're familiar with Wax
Yes,
Labs.
yes,
That's like a grant program to build stuff on top of Wax.
I know.
And have like an area where that part plus something to onboard large companies and have like a great showcase. So like, this is what we've done with Sony, this is what we've done with like a lot of the big IPs, and have like a starting point for either developing something great on Wax or onboarding. And I think that should get some extra love, but that's not really the OIG's task. That's more the Wax part. But I know that the OIG has regular talks. They are currently getting involved with the labs part to review and do part of the work to improve that, because they also see an issue. I think for me, the biggest thing with the OIG that I would change is probably automate a lot more of the checking. Just have that to a higher level, and try to bridge the community part. Like, make sure that there's more clarity about what is done and more communication there. So I see there's Yanis Rakeden that ran with was up for re-election last time. I spent a few hours with him going through his work. It was really kind of me to show him, because I was curious to see like, how do they work. And I know that a lot of the stuff that they do is still manually checking things. And since I'm a developer, I immediately see lots and lots of things that I could improve there. So yeah, I would try to, on one hand, automate stuff that can be automated and create more insight for all that stuff. And then if there is time, I would really try to kick some people that work at Wax in the behind to get some of that stuff really up, because I think there's really so much opportunity lost there. Okay. At least that's my opinion.
Got it. Yeah, makes sense. But yeah, Nick, the time is up. We're gonna come back
again.
After the 8th marble race. Yeah, pleasure to have you here, and let's go back.
Yeah, no worries. I'm gonna grab a drink very quickly while you do the marble race, so I'll be off screen for a quick.
No worries. So yeah, that was nice. Congrats on your win.
So do you often serenade chat?
What?
Do you often serenade chat? You were singing.
Oh yeah, on the last race. It's tamale.
Okay.
It's tamale, so it's special.
Yeah.
That
sounded nice.
Yeah, they like that song. I like it too. It's a great song. It actually has a very, very nice message. That you have to work for the things you want and not steal and do wrong things to get what you want. But yeah,
sounded a bit like rap, but a positive.
But yeah. Let's keep going, Nick. We want Crypto Paradise. Okay, I'll try to sing Crypto Paradise later after we're done with the. In 30 minutes, I'll try to sing Crypto Paradise, or maybe a little bit longer. But yeah, Nick, let's keep going with the talk regarding OIG. The thing I don't like about the OIG, to be honest, the thing I less like is the metrics to evaluate the block producers. I think they are too abstract. Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe they introduced new things there, but there is no metrics to police what the projects are doing on the chain. Like, if, for example, they put a project on the chain and they do a soft rug pull. Shots fired to a famous block producer. Okay, WeCan. But yeah, there's nothing to police their behavior. Those are the two things that I like less regarding the OIG. Can you comment on that, showing your perspective?
Yeah, sure. It depends. I think you're talking about the more subjective part now of rating the contributions, not so much the tech parts, because I don't know if you looked at it. There are if you look at a rating report on Notion, like a filled out one, you can see like there is a max score and a multiplier for all the stuff, and that's very objective, right? You can look at the measurements, see, and there is no there is no budging there. Everybody can come to the same conclusion because it's based on hard facts and numbers.
Yes.
Then there's the more subjective part, like contributions to the ecosystem, right? Onboarding projects, etc. There's 3 OIGs. So when you're a blog producer and you say, hey, I brought tops to Wax or Funko or whatever, I want credits for that, you know? And there's like a scale of how many points that can get. That is something that is really hard to put an outside perspective number on, because it's a subjective thing, right?
Yes.
You ask 3 people, you get 3 different answers. That's normal. So that's why there's 3 OIGs. Whenever there's something that is subjective or up for debate, and even with other stuff, like they have to come to a consensus. If you say, I want to give them 5 points, and the other 2 is like, I don't know what you've been smoking, that's 2 at best. They have to come to a conclusion together, right? There's not one OIG that can push that and say, no, this is how it's going to be. So there's always 3 of them. So that's one way to safekeep that. And then there's the publication and community aspect part that I would wish they would improve, is to give more visibility to all that, so that if there is something that the 3 of them concluded and agreed on, and a larger part of the community disagrees on, they can easily see it and voice it. Because now you have to do really a lot of investigation, click through all things in Notion and dig through the reports to find that stuff. So if there's a clearer communication and an easier way to get all that data, that can be a conversation which will influence that. So I can understand that you're like, okay, that's really subjective, so it's not fair. It's somewhat fair because you have 3 adults that have proven themselves to be capable, and they should be able to come to a conclusion. So it's always somewhat fair. Might not be 100% fair, but as fair as it could be within the setting. But adding more eyeballs and communication can improve those things, especially if they're short enough after it happens. Because oftentimes stuff like this comes up and it's about stuff that happened a long time ago. There's not much that you can do about it now.
Yes.
Right? And then there's also like those points don't stay forever. Everything has like a decay rate. So you will see something get 4 points with a decay target of 1, with -0.5 every turn, for instance. So that means that every month and a half a point will be deducted, and it will lose power, and it will get less and less points until it decays or completely is removed. Then there's also, they try to make that more objective, to ask for, like, if you create a service that you want points for, they ask about user metrics and stuff like that, to show that it might be very cool what you've done, but if there's nobody using it, why should you get points? Yes, you will get maybe at the start some points for the effort that you put in, even if there's not a lot of usage, but it's the usage and value that comes to chain that gives a lot of, that should drive a lot of those point values. So it's a lot of talk, but basically, yes, it's subjective, but there's 3 people that have to agree to make it fairer. And I think that having more eyeballs and communication there will make it even better, because they will be held more accountable to the public.
But I got a little bit confused there. Is there currently a way to judge blog producers for their behavior on the chain, for the projects they put out? If they, I don't think any blog producer actually rugpulled. Just to be clear on this, I think the one that comes into my mind is WeCan, for example. I think they pulled some soft rug pulls. Soft because it's not clearly a Rugpull, but they abandoned a few of their projects. I think they had an art project or whatever. But yeah, if a block producer does that in the current times, I don't like to keep judging people because of what they did in the past. Is there a way for the OIG to take that into account in their evaluation?
No, not that I know of. They could not give point for that, but there's no penalty for
Exactly.
stuff like that. But it's also really like the whole term rug pull is a really sensitive subject, because
yes.
if you launch something that does great and then interest dies out and the token value plummets because it's not sustainable, because inherently most things are like a bit of a Ponzi scheme, right? They call
Yes.
rug pull, but when there was no, even if there's no attribution to the creator for it failing, the fact that it failed, people will scream rug pull.
Yes.
If you look at some of the stuff that Wax Studios or Tyrannos did,
I agree with you.
You
completely.
should.
I agree with you completely. But at the same time, I don't think it's fair for block producers to, if for example, to me my biggest issue with WeCan, for example, is what they did with our planet. Not because of the token plummeting, or that's part of life. That's just part of life. I don't consider a token plummeting a rug pull. But they sold lots of characters for their game, saying that the characters would be used in their game, and they're not. You don't even, I don't think you even need a Wax wallet to play the game, and the characters don't give you any advantage on the game. But yeah, that was a long time ago. Yeah, but I think there should be mechanisms to prevent block producers from doing that again in the future.
Yeah, Things the like Our that. Planet thing is like there was the alchemy part of the game, and when that neared its end, to my opinion, the community and the way that was handled is a bit mismanaged. But it was like basically left a bit to die, because they didn't keep it going, and there was ways to do that better, but the focus was on building the new game.
Yes.
So, well, that's up to them. I think they could have done that a lot better, but I also had really a lot of fun with Our Planet at the beginning. So
I'm not complaining regarding that. But
I can't really, and there was like the way they switched how some of the elements worked that upset a lot of people. So there's stuff to be mad about, but it's not. I don't think it's really bad will there for that part, right?
Game balance, it's part of life to me. I have no issue with that, to be honest.
Well, but there were promises made that said we'll never do this and that, and So I can understand that people are mad about that. The game that they developed is a mobile game, and you can use your lands and bring them in game, and they will have a benefit, and all the other stuff does nothing. And the tokens that those lands generated for a long time that we thought would be great, you can use it to buy expendable robots, which is also a bit of a ladder. But in the end, well,
but the NFT,
they intentionally kept that stuff vague, so you can't really be mad about that. But yeah,
but the robots themselves, the robots that they sold, they have no use in the game, at least for now.
They can. Like, they have robot packs, and you can load them in the game, and you burn them, and then you get units in the game.
Oh, it's recent then.
No, that was from the start. I played like the first closed game.
In that case, I'm sorry. I thought it had no use.
No, it had use, but like all the elements and the stuff that we crafted, like the thing is, Our Planet was pretty cool, right? Hey Raiders, welcome.
Thank you so much, Non-Fungible Lottery, for the raid.
The alchemy part of Our Planet is some of the most fun that I've had on Wax. Really, it was great. But they have always been kind of vague and mysterious about the future there, and I think that all that time people had great expectations and hopes for what would come next, and objectively looking at it, you can more look at it like those are two different things, and one was left to die, and they started a new thing where you can have a small part of the old thing and bring it over. So, and I can understand that a lot of people are mad about that. There's also like a BP, WeCan does a lot of onboarding and helping other projects, and I don't have the details of that, but there are so many conspiracies and talks about them being the people behind some of the things, like a space thing. I haven't been involved there, so I don't know, but I hear it come up every time and time again.
I don't think that's fact, so that we have proof. So
yeah, so that's something but that's always a conversation that comes up. And then there's like they helped mining network do a lot of stuff, and there was like copy paste code in there, so people was they're behind that. But also that was like a separate team that did that, and I just know that
the mining network, for example, to me, they were just the developers, so so no fault in that.
Not even completely developed, but they helped a lot. The concept was done by somebody else, but they helped a lot with the blockchain stuff. Yeah, as far as I know.
Yeah, so there is no silver bullet, I would say, that could tie. And even if WeCan was behind mining network didn't scam anyone as far as I'm concerned. So yeah,
I actually also had a lot of fun with that project, but yeah,
I had a little bit of fun in the beginning. Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
then it
didn't last too long because but that's inherent of the design, like the way that it builds, it gets harder and harder to join. So
yeah,
but I think if you like into the whole all the digging and stuff, like, do you know Burst of Energy?
Yes.
Okay.
And
he could talk for days about this stuff, and he has done a lot.
Burst of Energy could also talk for days about me, how I'm a bootlicker and whatever. So yeah.
Okay, so you're not friends.
Not anymore.
Okay.
Not anymore. Okay. He made very clear that he doesn't want to be my friend anymore.
Okay.
So yeah.
So I just said, like, I know that he's always vocal about that stuff and has history there. So I'm not one to speak about a lot of that stuff because I haven't done any of the research myself. I haven't been involved with a lot of stuff. So it's hard for me to comment on it. But I know, like, whenever WeCan comes up, there's always certain people that have a lot of issues.
It's not so difficult to trigger certain people, to be honest. But yeah, it's complicated to consider a rug pull or whatever. But I really wish there was a way in the OIG metrics for the OIG to rate the block producers because of their behavior on chain.
Yeah, but for me the issue there is I've seen actual rug pulls like spaceship.io.
Yeah.
No, what was it? Spacecraft, something like that.
I think it was spacecraft or whatever.
No, alien ships was the one that really just packed up and was gone from one moment to the next. Like alien ships. That was it was a stupid little game where you could have like a very basic game, but there was also like a building mechanic where you could grow your fleet. And I just did that second part, and I was doing that for over a year. And then one day to the next, it's gone. And the guy just split. So that was a real rug pull. The thing is, objectively looking at it, I don't know if there is that I could attribute, but I don't have all the data and facts, that I could attribute a penalty to something that WeCan did in that regard.
No,
to get a clear example, right?
In the past, the only thing that I can think of that is clear to judge is I think WeCan did an art project or whatever and just abandoned it. They made a few promises and they just decided we're done with this and they abandoned it. It's the only clear way, but that's not a rug pull. It's not a crime.
I know. I think that's like tribal books.
Yeah,
or something.
I think it's something like that. But it's not a crime to abandon a project.
And they still say they will get to it and they will hire developers.
Yes, exactly. That's the thing that I find a little bit sketchy, It's better to just tell people, okay, it didn't work out. We moved in another direction. It was takeable on our planet, so you kind of had your return or whatever. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, and I know some people that actually own a lot of that and are mad about it.
Yeah,
but
to me,
yeah.
the only scummy part is that they keep saying that they will do something with those NFTs.
But do you think, what would you do with that? Like,
it's in the past, so nothing can be done.
No, but let's say that's a current thing. Like, they did that at what point? Because it's also like this indeterminate state. At what point are there repercussions, and what should those repercussions be?
That's something that has to be evaluated by the OIG and also by the block producers. What do they want to consider, for example, a Rugpull? What do they want to consider abandoning a project? And what do they want to consider, for example, broken promises? And the severity in each of these categories. And then attribute penalties. But the penalty could only be attributed once, in my opinion. Like, for example, a block producer did whatever on this evaluation period, and we penalized him with X amount of points, and yeah, the next evaluation period, that's kind of forgotten.
Yeah, the thing is, for me, I don't think it makes a lot of sense. Like, for me, the biggest issue should be you tarnish your reputation, right?
Yes.
Having something like that on record will kill business for you, or should kill business for you. That's the way I look at it. It's really hard to have even have that as a deterrent, because losing points for one evaluation isn't going to hurt them that much, because standby pay is still pretty good. And if everything operates at a frequency or at a level like a top 21 producer, then even the standby pay, when it's scaled, they're working on that. I don't know if it's there yet or not. Won't really have that much impact. So getting out of the top 21 for one evaluation period won't be that much. It will suck, but it won't be comparable to. Yeah, I don't think it's a good option, and that's what I'm trying to go at. Like, is there a way to handle that? And I don't think there is really a good way.
There might not be a good way, but it can also be neglected.
Because what you could do is have like a code of conduct for VPs, and have like a public record with a strike system or a penalty point system. But still, like, if people that want to take advantage will take advantage and find ways to do that and work around the rules. So it's just so hard, because they could just do a spin-off and say, "Oh, that's a different company. We just assisted them with."
Yeah, but
that's not me. That's XYZ, and we just helped them with their code. So we're not responsible for what they do with it.
That's also where whitelisting. We don't have whitelisting anymore, but the badges could come in place, because Atomic Hub does KYC. So we can start tying, at least Atomic Hub can start tying block producers to projects if they decide to go towards that route.
Yeah, sure, but then, like I said, they could just incorporate an entity, have a straw person in front of that, and so, like, if there's a way that there's a downside for them, they could easily work around it. So I'm not trying to.
I think there will always be ways to get over regulations, either in crypto or in real life. When you create a law or whatever, there's always some weird loophole or something that it's not illegal to do. Let's say, but I liked your suggestion of the code of conduct. I think a code of conduct could be very good, because that way we will know what sort of standards we are putting block producers and their actions into the chain. Like, for example, don't do malice. That can be it's very broad, but yeah, if it was in the code of conduct, don't do malice. Don't do whatever, or I don't know. I'm just
But also more openness about some stuff and reputation building would be great. And it it doesn't have to be KYC'd, but like there are people in the space that are known but not fully doxed. Like you know, Alcor. There's a guy Avral, and he runs Alcor and or works on it. You can talk to him. He can help with stuff. It would be cool if you could see a project and just see like the people involved with it.
Yeah.
Like if you go to, let's say, that mining network, okay, tech support from WeCan, and this is the team that runs it, and like to have more information about who it is and have some like more a shared reputation system. Like, do you know ClashDome, for instance? Yes, they make small games. If they were to say, well, okay, we're helping another team build this, and have that linked so that you know, like, okay, there's like a sort of shared reputation system so that you could see how stuff interconnects. But because lots of the time you see stuff pop up, and you have no idea who's behind it, right? It could be a completely new team, but lots of times there's all sorts of other things behind it. And I would really be nice to see those connections, because that will also tell you a bit about, hey, I've dealt with some of these links before, maybe I shouldn't get involved, or maybe this gives me extra trust, right? Yeah. I would love to see something like that.
That's also a very interesting idea. Very, very interesting.
But it's also dangerous, like, because in the past I've helped a team with the crypto part, like help them understand the tech, explain binary math and smart contracts, and help them set up stuff for their server and for their game. And then they went out and built a part for their shop, and there was a bug in it, and it got exploited. And I was like, maybe you should have asked me about that too, right? But then it's like, hey, Nick helped us with this, but I'm not I'm not responsible for the full system. I don't do the final checks, and so it's also dangerous like that. Even if you help a team to the best of your knowledge, you can't be fully held accountable for what they do. So it's a really difficult thing, and I wish I had all the answers, you know. But for now, there's very little information, and the badges that help, because it's like, oh yeah, this guy has been here for 2 years, or at least his wallet. So that's something that helps. Or hey, we know who this is on the back end. But I think there's more links that could be drawn, and that could help with some sort of trust.
Yeah. But yeah, we have a question from Malsi. Do you think OIG should rebrand to something else, since many people equate them to an OIG in the real world, and they do not have the capacity to vet whistleblower reports or mitigate fraud as a regular OIG would?
I'm not familiar with real-world OIGs myself, and I think if there's some capability that's missing, it could be added. And for myself, I don't see a reason to rebrand, but I don't have those associations myself. Do you have them?
No, I don't know what's a real-life OIG.
It's Office of Inspector General.
Yes, but like, yeah. I only heard this term before on Wax. I didn't know it was a broadly used term.
So yeah, maybe it just means that there's part that is missing in the things that the OIGs do there. Maybe. So if there's a need, like I said, there is a plan to have a way to kick out an OIG if they're doing something wrong, and I think there will also be a way to report stuff that needs to be brought to their attention, and that's more like the whistleblower thing. So I'm not sure how anonymous they will make it, because the thing is, if you have fully anonymous reporting, sourcing information and vetting information becomes even harder, and in the end it will take up a lot of time. So it's hard, but yeah, I think if there's something wrong that you think is wrong, there should be a way to report something like that.
Also, is saying that in a government or corporations, they regulate policies and suss out frauds and remove it from the entity to try and ensure the integrity of the institution. Okay. I didn't know that. Thank you, Walsey.
Yeah. So yeah, currently it's really limited to making sure that the tech part is up to snuff and that there's community development, etc. But yeah, there is really it's just a part of the system. Like there's a whole Wax team and what they do, and they are very unregulated.
Yes,
because it's their own thing. There's not a lot known about it, and I think, yeah,
it's complicated. And Nick,
very much so.
Do you have the It's better for me to first give my opinion on this. When I go into the top 21 block producers, I always get the impression that they don't all contribute in the same way, and they don't add the same value into the chain. Like, if it was me, for example, evaluating the OIG in a scale from 1 to 10, for example, I would give like the 11, maybe 12. I would give 8 or 9 regularly, and then the other ones I would give maybe 5 to 4. I don't know how their evaluations work, by the way, because I get the impression that sometimes some are just producing blocks and they're not doing anything else.
It really depends. This is also something that's hard to know, because there's like OG BPs that do lots and lots of stuff that's very valuable to everybody else running a BP that most of the people won't know about, like having snapshots and technical stuff up there, and just pure knowledge for when something breaks, that they know how to fix it. So that's there's like value are in two parts. There's the technical side, and there's the resource and the public and utility side. Both are important and both are valuable. So yeah, on the one hand, you have highly technical teams that when shit hits the fan, you want them there because they are the ones who solve it. And there's content teams that have a marketplace or something else that's very valuable to the chain, but might not know the nitty-gritty details and can help with when something is really wrong deep down. So there's value on all sorts of levels there. And right now in the top 21, there's a mix of those things. And I think it's important. But for me, the thing that's not really that visible is the really technical people that do great work, because they don't have consumer facing public things that people use a lot. So it's really difficult to judge from the outside, and that's why even looking at some of the reports, you won't know which one of the BPs are really important to the chain. And that's something that's also an issue, I think, and that could use some more spotlight.
And how can we do it? Because you're basically saying that some of the block producers that I would evaluate in a harsh manner, actually do a lot, but
might be the most important ones there.
Yes, and they don't express that in the reports.
You can't see that just looking at the reports now.
Then how can I see it? How can the regular user get this information of how they are so important, how they are so vital for the chain?
And that all comes down to communication, and this is also difficult. Like, there have been one of the issues that Wax has, that every chain has, where there's money to be made, people will abuse it to hell, right? There is a bot problem with a lot of things, and those bots, in trying to gain an edge, often break stuff in unexpected ways. Like, it has happened a while back that, like, basically the chain grinded to a halt. Not much was going on. It was still producing, was still working, but a lot of stuff would error out. Stuff was broken on the backside. Everything was on fire, right?
Yeah.
That was a big issue, and people spent day and night working on that. Like, at the end of that, I don't know if you know Anders from
Yes, any observation? Yes, I know.
Yes, from Sweden. One of the things that he brought to light was like, okay, we just overcome a very big problem, and teams didn't all pull their own weight, right? He was upset about that a bit because there were people that were highly technical that dove into everything and made sure that the rest could produce, while others did basically nothing. And he said, well, it would be great if stuff like this would be put into the evaluation more, because that's one of the things that he's voiced in the past. Like, it's great to have the content side, but you also have to have the technical side. Both are important, and you don't want to lose one over the other. So if you start to focus and reward the content more and have less great ways to score and evaluate the tech parts, you will lose a lot of the tech, because like some things are set up that you can do a worse job and still score maximally. So what some people will do is take like, okay, why should we do our best to offer the best support, because that costs a lot more if you can get the same points and just do a bit less and get away with that. So that's a risk there. And the issue with reporting on that more is that it usually comes down to people exploiting stuff that's either still weak or still vulnerable or is still being patched or is covered in NDAs, etc. So a lot of times when things like that happen, only stuff that bubbles to the surface will be visible. So a lot of the important stuff that happens, you will never hear or see about. And that's a bit of a shame, because that also doesn't show you who is the most valuable on chain just from having a stable chain operating. So that's something, and that also comes down to communication, because it's just running a BP isn't easy. Everybody who thinks should run a BP and figure it out themselves, because it takes a lot of work and it takes a lot of resources and money to run. And losing those technical skills would be a real shame. So I can understand if you look at the BPs and you're like, well, I never heard of these, what do they do? And look at the stuff that you think like, okay, we would be better off without them. That's not technically the case for a lot of them, probably.
Okay.
And even I'm an outsider, I still don't see a lot of that. I try to get into a lot of those stuff because I do so much on Wax. I'm doing less now, but I used to do so much on Wax that when stuff breaks, I was usually one of the first to notice. So I was always be in those rooms checking out, hey, did you see this? Hey, what's going on? So I would get a lot of that stuff and see what's happening. But yeah, even there's so much that I also don't know and see. So, and I think that is a shame, because lots of people that do a lot of great work don't get the credits that they should get, I think. Okay. And it all boils down to communication, for me at least.
Got it. Yeah, makes sense. I really had no idea that some did this work. It's like you said, you read the reports and it's not there. So there were times where I was reading the reports that I thought, yeah, what are these guys doing? It looks like only 11 or 13 are doing something, and the other guys are just producing blocks. Because there's literally nothing there.
Yeah, and there's probably also one or two that you could easily lose in that list. But yeah, that's not my place to say, you know.
Got it.
But I just try to make sure that everything that you see is not everything that happens, sadly. And everybody, there's like back channels that they have on Keybase. They have a chat. Like whenever stuff happens, there's a lot of stuff that goes on that never comes to surface, and that is a bit sad, I think, because that also makes sure that people don't get the credits they deserve.
Got it. Yeah, Nick, let's run a marble race really quick. Then we keep going. Okay?
Sure.
It's being a nice talk, by the way.
Yeah, no worries. And once again, I'm I'm just like a regular Wax user on the outside. I always want to know how stuff works. So I think you might want to have any observation, Anders, on your show as well.
Yeah.
To talk more about that, because he's more on the inside than I am.
We had any observation before. I think it was 3 or 4 months ago. I think it was a very nice talk, but he's also a blog producer, so he will have to defend himself. Not defend himself, like it's always a partial. It will never be an impartial conversation.
Yeah, but he will call out shit if he sees shit.
Yeah.
He's a really good dude, so I have to stand up for Anders.
No,
I consider him a friend.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's sketchy or anything like that, but I cannot say that when you talk to a blog producer that they will give an impartial, that they will be 100% impartial. I think that's impossible. It's your work. It's what you do. So you will try your best to explain people what you do and why it's important. But I don't think it's possible to get 100% impartial. A 100% impartial opinion.
Yeah, but he will also be able to share insights that people that are not blog producers can't really. So.
Yes, I really wish that when I called him on stream, I understood things the way I understand now. Like my knowledge of the blog producers and the OIG and lots of other things. I wish I knew how I know now. But yeah.
It's a very complex topic, and there's also always more to learn.
Exactly.
I've been writing software since I was 12, and I have this thing that I always need to know how everything works, and I'm still finding out new stuff every day. So it's not something that you're easily done with.
Yeah, true. So yeah, Nick, another thing that I don't understand is, why did you decide to not be an OIG candidate on this cycle?
Because I've been asked to run for OIG in the past. I've been on Wax for over 2 years. I've been you have to go back to how I started on Wax, I think. I discovered Wax, like many people, through the Binance listing of Alien Worlds.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
And that brought me to Wax, and I was like, okay, cool. And from there, things started rolling. So I was mining in Alien Worlds, and it was like, okay, you can equip more than one shovel or drill, but you have to go to blocks and execute this. And I was like, what?
That was so stupid.
Am I getting scammed? Because I had no idea what blocks was. I was new to crypto, basically. And I was like, this can't be real. And that's, no, this is totally legit. Everybody does it. It's great. This is the way that you're supposed to do it. And the people that run the software tell you to do it that way. Like, okay, why didn't they just build it into the software? Well, yeah, it's allowed, but it's just not supported in the UI. You just go there, look up the asset IDs, format this JSON, put it in there, and it's like, okay. And you expect regular people to do this? Like, okay, so I did that. I was like, okay, this is weird, but yeah. And then my wife was also mining on the Alien World. I was like, yeah, you need to equip 3 drills. That works way better. It's like, okay, how do I do that? Well, you go to blocks and then you make this JSON string. I was like, okay, but I'm on my Samsung phone. I don't use a PC. I just use my phone. How am I supposed to do this? It's near impossible, you know?
Yeah.
I was like, okay, let me see. If blocks, an external website not affiliated with Alien Worlds, can do this, maybe I can do this too. So I was like, okay, let's dive into this. Let's see how this works. And I was like, okay. And I built a proof of concept, and it worked. And I showed it to my wife. She did it on her phone. Click, click, click. Bam, done. I was like, cool. And so I went to the Telegram and I shared my link. I was like, hey, are you tired of going to blocks or don't know how this works? Here is how they should have done it themselves, you know? And after that, basically every time I saw a project refer to blocks, it's like the hairs on my hand would stand up and I start to build a tool.
Freaking amateurs, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, it's just like
your head.
Yeah. So and that's basically how I got started. It's like, okay, I'm solving the problems that teams should have had. So usually when I went and made something for a project, it was, oh, so cool that you made something for us. Well, it's not a badge of honor. It's something. It means that you dropped the ball. If I make something for you, basically you drop the ball.
Yeah.
So it's done with love, but I shouldn't have to be the one doing this, right? And that's basically for everything that I did. So yeah, and basically me doing that and being invested in Wax and being everywhere, people say like, I think you'd be good for the OIG office. And I was like, what do you have to do? Yeah, you have to argue with BPs. Okay, I'm not great at arguing because I'm somebody, I cut out negativity from my life. So yes. I'm not great at arguing online because I just can't be asked. It's just not
arguing
worth my time or energy.
Pointless.
Yes. So yeah, that's I was like, nah, that's not for me. And besides, it's like for 18 months, it's a near full-time job. I'm a software developer. I run my own company. I have long-term projects that people depend on. So I can't just say, hey, I'm not going to be available anymore. Good luck with your company, right? So I couldn't do that. So then, like 6 months ago, 3 weeks before that, one of the biggest projects came to an end. And I was like, OIG is coming up. And people said, hey, you should run. I was like, okay, I'm actually in a spot where if I just don't get a new job now, I could do it. So yeah, that's what I did. I was like, I love Wax. I like what the OIG does. I think I could improve a lot and have a good contribution there. So let's do that. And I went for it, and it was grueling. It was really so much stress. Like I did, like I said, I talked to everybody with a big wallet to see if I could get their support, because you need people with big wallets supporting. Yes. So I talked to everybody, and actually, like 2 BPs pledged to me their support. That would be like another 14 million Wax combined. And like a week later, Kaefer said, hey, I'm running. And then they went, oops, we'll vote for him now.
But it wasn't, they didn't even vote. I remember it was a 2 million vote or whatever that decided the election, right?
Yeah, that's something. But yeah, I'm not going to name names, but there were 2 big BPs that before told me, hey, Nick, we're going to vote for you. We like what you do, etc. But that was before Janus had said, I'm running again. So they didn't know that. And it's like, okay, change of plans. So if they would have voted for me, I would have won with a big landslide. But
that's part of life. You're not as hot as Rakuten, so I bet. So.
But the biggest issue was that I had high hopes that I would win, because for like nearly the entire 2 weeks, I don't remember.
Yeah, you were
1
leading.
or 2 weeks, I were leading, and every time it was I was getting a lot of vote, a lot of support. It was really nice to see.
I think it was on the last day that someone transferred 2.5 million Wax from Binance and and swept the election.
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah.
But yeah, like that, I was devastated after that, because I was really I put my life on pause just to be an OIG. So it cost me a lot in multiple ways. And yeah, I'm not up for that again. It just
I feel you. Well, so if I ever become an OIG, I will do nothing to force them to have to create the laws to expel someone. So if I won the OIG vote, that would be the first thing I would do. I would do nothing. So they would be forced to create laws and eventually expel me. That would be my W. So yeah, I sometimes I get carried away with the stupid stuff.
We're here to have fun, so why not?
No need
to apologize.
Alcy saying that she feels like you could give us a good argument on why tea is bad.
Talking to who?
You could give. And she's
Uh,
still hoping you will run again in January 24.
yeah, I don't think I'll ever run for OIG again. It's too much of a it costs too much in multiple ways for me to do that. So if they can tell me, hey, Nick, we want you, you can have the job if you want it, I'd consider it, but I'm not doing the election thing again. Just to get my hopes up and get crushed again after 2 weeks and putting so much stuff on hold. It's just not worth it to do that again. True. So yeah.
True. But yeah, Franklin is saying BD goes down as the worst OIG in history, but gets rules written, so we all win. Exactly, Franklin, you get it. Shaki, I'm not here to do better. I'm here to do nothing. Please vote for me. Exactly, Shaki. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. But for real, but for real, if I ever ran for the OIG and actually won the election, that's what I would do. I would do absolutely nothing, really. Nothing. So they would be forced to create impeaching mechanisms. And
they already have that in plan. Like
they need to be quicker.
Yeah.
Because there is no urgency when things are going well. But see, imagine if one of the OIGs goes rogue. There is no.
Yeah. I'm here to drive change by doing nothing. Good luck.
Exactly. Sometimes the best way to drive change is to do nothing. For real. Think about it. Think about it. If you're in Congress and you do absolutely nothing, you prove that to everyone that that the people in Congress can do absolutely nothing and still get paid.
You get sometimes those stories like a guy found out after 11 years of not showing up for work, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody who's been employed for so many years, but stuff changes and he just not getting paid for all this time. Yeah.
Exactly.
Slipping through the cracks.
I really think that it's very important to have some impeaching mechanisms ASAP. Because now for real, I don't think the current OIGs will ever go rogue, but they can get sick of the Wax life, of being flamed on Twitter or on Wax communities, or what. They can get sick and just say, I have better things to do in my life, and just F you all. And then a new OIG comes. And this new OIG, he's decided to screw things over, and there are no mechanisms in place. They weren't well thought, so yeah.
Kaefer is actually, who is up for election, is working or has been working on getting that. So if he gets re-elected, he might have it this term.
He better do it. Because otherwise, I will become a candidate. And I will win, and I will do absolutely nothing till we get change. Like Milton in Office Space. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, Nick, we're going for nearly 2 hours now. It has been a very, very productive talk. People before asked, previously in the stream, people asked us to sing Crypto Paradise. Would you be willing to do that with me? To sing Crypto Paradise? I'll send you the lyrics.
I'm not much of a singer, but
okay,
sure.
I'll sing it then. And yeah.
I'll make some cats and dogs howl. Just send it to me and I'll scare away the viewers.
Okay. Let me go into the Telegram here. Why are you in Telegram, by the way? Telegram is so wrong.
Yeah, I prefer it. I can just mute anything I don't want.
You can do that in Discord too.
Yeah, but I have like 8,000 channels, servers, whatever. I have so many things in Discord. It's just not. It's easier to find. Telegram is like the ultimate OSINT tool. Like I can plug in a Wax address and get a mention from 3 years ago and have it. Try that on Discord. It's like It's horrible. Let me see. Is this Gangsta's Paradise
Yes,
in the
yes,
background?
it's a Gangsta Paradise.
I actually know the lyrics to Gangsta's Paradise by
Awesome,
heart.
awesome. Let me look it up. Wait a second. Gangsta Paradise instrumental. Okay, you guys in the chat will have to help me with the song, with the sound. Is it good? Can you hear me? Can you hear me in the song? People in the chat, please let me know. Is it good? Is it too loud? Is it too low? People in the chat, I need your help. It's good? It's good. Nice. It's good. So yeah, Nick.
I won't be able to hear it, right?
Yeah, you won't be able to hear it. That will be it. But I'll let you know. But I'll let you know when it's... I'll give you a 5-second countdown when you have to start singing.
You'll start singing and I'll try to jump in because I won't have the music playing. I'll try to rap along.
Okay. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. This is to all the people in the chat. Crypto Paradise coming back again. To all of you, thank you so much for the support. Okay, I think I missed the timing. Wait a second. Let's go again. Yeah. As I log in my wallet, I see it is dead. I take a look at my coins and realize nothing's left. Cause I saw profits and then so long that even Maximus think my mind is gone.
But I never swapped a coin that didn't deserve it. Me riding to the bottom, you know it's unheard of. You better watch profits you're taking and where you're staking, or you and your wallets will be 0 to none. I really hate to trip, but I gotta swap. As they drip, I see myself trying to flip. Ooh, I'm the trader. I'm sorry. I don't have any music, so it's really hard.
yeah, I know. I'm sorry. Okay, I have to fix that. I have to fix that.
Yeah, next time send it through the mic so that I can hear it, and then I can actually rap along.
Yeah. I'll have to see how to do that. I'm not good with audio or video, but yeah, let's go again. I'll sing it again this time. No, I'll sing it along this time so you don't have to. I understand.
Okay. Good.
Yeah. As I log in my wallet, I see it is that I take a look at my coins and realize nothing's left. Cause I saw profits and went so long that even Maximus think my mind is gone. But I never swapped a coin that didn't deserve it. Me riding to the bottom, you know that's unheard of. Better watch profits you're taking and where you are staking, or you and your wallets will be 0 to none. I really hate to trip, but I gotta swap. As they dip, I see myself trying for a flip fool. I'm the trader all the holders wanna be, like on the phone through the night reading charts with the screen lights. Shorting all our lives and trading. This is crypto paradise. Feels like all our lives are trading. This is crypto paradise. Buying high and selling low. This is crypto paradise. Shorting all our lives and trading. This is crypto paradise. Crypto paradise. It's all about this. You trade, you lose, you buy high, you sell low. People tell you the secret is to buy low and sell high. That's difficult. I can guarantee you. Buy high, sell low, easy peasy. That's what we all do in this crypto paradise. Yeah. Shorting all our lives, trading, crypto paradise. All our lives are trading. Crypto paradise. Buying high and selling low. This is crypto paradise. So yeah. That's pretty much what happened to me with Fada. Oh, feels bad. But yeah, Nick,
don't log into your exchange account right now.
Yeah, it's not a good idea. Eminem, are you? Lol. But yeah, Nick, let's do one last marble race before we're done. Do you think there is anything that we forgot to cover here on the stream that you wanna bring extra attention?
Nope, I'm here for you, man. Just answering all the questions. Okay. I don't have anything to plug.
No, anything regarding OIG that you think you forgot regarding yourself? You wanna shit on a project?
Whatever. No, not really.
Okay.
No, it's just I'm curious to see how the new election goes, and I will be looking from the sidelines and curious to see the outcome. But yeah, I think whoever runs now will have a tough time, because I think that Kaefer is one of the, out of all three, the most likely to be re-elected, just because of who he is and the experience and history that he has. So I think it's a really good dude, and yeah, I don't think it would be bad for him to serve another term. But I'm really curious to see who will try to oppose and run, because nobody has been confirmed yet. So that's yeah, okay. That'll be interesting.
Oh, there's going to be a Wax Wednesday this week with the OIG this week. If people want to listen to that, so yeah, nice. Also, thank you for the info.
I'll try. Personally, I really hate the Twitter Spaces.
I hate it too, with passion. But yeah.
Yeah, I just wish they'd do it on YouTube, or just upload it after to YouTube, just to have more discoverability. And
yeah, agree. But
I'll shut up now. Let's race.
It's okay, no worries.
Congrats.
Before we end, let me just show you all the dragons that we have. I have them here. Let me check. Okay, let me show you a little bit of the dragons that I have here. Okay, you can see. Oh, you can see. Wait, am I in the wrong screen? Why is it not showing? Wait a second. I have no idea why it's not showing. Wait a sec. Oh, okay. There's only darkness, yeah. Okay. Here is the clay version of the purple dragon. As you can see, there are awesome figurines. This is the painted version of the purple dragon.
Who makes these?
White Dragon. He's another guy. He's a very cool guy and an awesome artist. To me, he's the best artist on Wax, but I'm a little bit biased since I'm in the project. But for you, I think he's the best artist on Wax. Very underrated. Here is the orange dragon. We have 10 dragons in total, and the wing maidens that will be releasing. Here I just have 4 to show you. You can expect how much are they selling for. You will actually purchase packs, Random King, that will contain materials. You will use these materials to blend a dragon each week. Each week we will be releasing two blends. So a total of 5 weeks of blends. We haven't finalized the price of the packs yet, so I can't tell you yet how much the packs will cost. But they will be cheap. This is the bronze dragon clay version. And this is the painted version of the bronze dragon. We're gonna be having 10 in total.
So will you have physical redemptions as well?
We want to do that, but it's very expensive. The logistic, it's not easy. We haven't found a way that that doesn't demand the amount of effort. Like right now, we went through some possibilities, but for each dragon, it would be like 1 week of work, just trying to paint the dragons and whatever. It's
Yeah,
not
I'm not
worth
saying
it.
it's. Yeah, well, it could be worth it to somebody, but yeah,
Like
it's,
not for white. We don't do this full time, so we have to work. So it's not worth it for us. White Dragon, we make very little in the collection, so it's very hard. So too much time for too little pay. Unfortunately, that's the reality. If we were making more money, maybe it would be viable, but with the current means, it's just impossible. It's just impossible. White Dragon has to feed his family.
Yeah. Sometimes it's better to do stuff out of passion, though.
Yeah, obviously we do this with passion. Like even these figurines, they take a lot of work and a lot of time to do. White Dragon usually spends more than a few weeks doing each of these dragons to put all the details and whatever. But when you do it with the redeemables, it's not just you sitting on the PC, it's you straining your back and things like that, and repainting, finding the right materials. And he said he tried it once and he couldn't do it. He can't do it. We would have to make like 10x of what we were making, and we don't want to make this drop super expensive.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's see in the future. We're still looking for ways to do it. The NFT design work is a lot. Yes, it really is a lot of work. This is not AI art. This is White Dragon. He really spends time sculpting these figurines, and it takes a long time. Takes a long time. You would all be surprised with the amount of effort that's put into this. People who know how graphic 3D design works, they get surprised.
You can learn really fast. Just try to follow a Blender tutorial and you'll find out how hard it is.
Yeah.
And even like, do you know Infantia?
No,
it's a guy on YouTube. He's a great instructor. He does like these 10-minute blends where he has a challenge and then he makes something in Blender from scratch in 10 minutes, like complete scenes, etc. He has great tutorials, but even then, it takes so much time to get used to, and there's so much to learn. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, it really is.
But fun once you get.
Yeah. White Dragon has lots of fun. I don't have any talent regarding an artist. I really don't. I suck. I really suck at art. But yeah, White Dragon is awesome.
Yeah, I'm not great at it either.
To me, I'll say this. I always say this. To me, White Dragon, he's the best artist on Wax. He's really underrated. Really underrated. But yeah, Nick,
yes.
It's time we have to go. The Champions League game already started. Are you rooting for someone? Are you rooting for Inter Milan or are you rooting for Manchester City?
Yeah, like I told you before the stream, I'm not really I'm not really a soccer fan. I'd rather play the game myself than watch it. So, yeah, I don't have a foot in this race. So.
Okay, got it. But yeah,
enjoy the match.
Yeah, I am hoping for it to be a great match. But yeah, let's rate. I'm rooting for Manchester City because they play better. But it's not really that I'm rooting. It's just if they don't win, it will not affect me at all. I'm not a fan of Pep Guardiola, but they're the better team, so I want them to win. Let's rate NFTGamerTV. And once again, thank you so much, Nick, for taking the time, being here.
Yeah, no worries.
I think we helped to clear out the mysteries of the OIG, and I really appreciate you taking the time to do this.
Yeah, no worries. I hope I made some things clearer instead of more.
No, I can assure you, you made things much more clear.
Glad to be of service.
But yeah, I'll see you all. Be nice to NFTGamerTV, follow them, and bye.
Bye.
Okay, raid is going, raid is going, raid is going. And it's gone.